Hi, good evening, everybody. My name's Rosalind. I think most of you know me now. If there's anybody new here tonight, brand new, at the end of the session tonight, we're having breakout rooms. These are like support rooms where practitioners of Sahaja Yoga, there'll be one person in each room. Just let me alter this slightly. And then you'll be able to go there and ask any questions and get a bit more information about Sahaj. And if you haven't had your realization yet, that you'll be able to do that later. So I've actually just seen the title of tonight. I wasn't really going to follow that, but I will talk about lethargy after Shri Mataji's talk. But I wanted to talk a little bit about thoughtless awareness and the different levels of meditation. But first of all, let's all raise our Kundalini together and put on a bandana the way we do every time. Make sure you bring your hands up nice and high, tying a knot at the top. And our Kundalini will start to react immediately to this when we move our hands and raise our Kundalini like this. We put on this bandana to protect all the chakras in the body. 7 rainbow shapes around the body. The singing that you heard at the beginning of, we're playing it now at the beginning of each meditation, is a mantra which we sing. And again, it's something that will awaken the Kundalini. The Kundalini starts to rise and to bubble when we sing that. So we did send it on the group a couple of days ago, I think, after Monday. So if you'd like to learn it, we're very good to sing it, and you know now how it's sung. You can go sing along with them. Otherwise, we'd have to write it out somewhere for you. It's in Sanskrit. So I wanted to talk a little bit about thoughtless awareness. I hope everyone's felt that they've reached thoughtless awareness some of the time you've been meditating. It is quite an elusive thing. This mind of ours is developed over many years, and it's overdeveloped now. It's overdeveloped in the thinking side, which is the logical side, or it's overdeveloped in the left side, which is what the title was about tonight, the lethargy. So very often, if we think all the time, overthink and overplan, when we stop, we sometimes fall into the left. So we fall into lethargy, and that's where this swinging of the pendulum comes. So we're either in one thing or the other. And what obviously we're trying to do, where we're trying to be, is in this center place within us, the here and now. And our whole aim really in Sahaj is to reach thoughtless awareness. The next few things I'm going to say are not, I must confirm, are not things that Shri Mataji has actually said. They're my own experience. So I thought I'd share those with you. But everybody's different, and everybody's meditation will be slightly different, I would think. Thoughtless awareness, I would say, is a state. We'll all feel very similar in that state. When I first started meditating in Sahaj, I suddenly, one day, there was a kind of click in my brain. It wasn't very loud or anything, but this little click came, and I shifted into thoughtlessness. I shifted into absolute silence. And I think probably it was the state of my brain at that time. So everybody, as I say, everybody's thinking is different and everybody's brain is different. But at that time, that's what happened to me the first time. Not the first time. The first time was when I was in front of Shri Mataji. And Shri Mataji she didn't say a word. She just looked at me. And with her attention, she brought my Kundalini so powerfully up that I went into silence. And I don't know how long I was in silence, because it was just silence, thoughtlessness. But when I was on my own, it was bliss. It was like a bliss. And then it happened a couple of times. And then after that, slowly, I started to just to flow. It was just to flow. So it just flowed into thoughtless awareness. So I'm just telling you these things because it's possible that you might be able to notice the difference. So let's see, let's practice together. And let's see if we can reach that, because that's our ultimate aim. And I would say now, from my experience of many years of meditating, that thoughtless awareness can work out such a lot of what is in balance in us. It works out a tremendous amount. So that's what we need to aim for. But we can't really try. Shri Mataji's also said that in times of great difficulty, when we're having a real trouble or even a trauma in life, we just go thoughtless. As these spiritual beings that we are, that meditate, we just go thoughtless. There's nowhere else to go. And that has happened to me as well. I had a lot of trouble with a neighbour at one quick period of time. And when I sat down to meditate, I was worrying during the day, but during meditation, there was nothing else to do. We just went into thoughtlessness. But what I was going to also say is that, to me, this is my experience, there are different levels of meditation. That's how I see it, but that's not how everybody will see it. And I just wanted to point those out just so that you can tell maybe where you're at when you meditate. Now, you can have a very good meditation. Make sure the candle's lit. Make sure you have the candle in front of Shri Mataji's picture, and that will help you a lot. Raise your Kundalini, put a bandana on, and you will have very good meditations that will be quite silent. And you may think that you're not thinking, but sometimes there's low level thinking still going on. And I think that's a very good place to be. It's a very good start. And I think from there you can move into thoughtlessness. So there are days, I'm sure you've already experienced this. There are days when we're just thinking too much. There's maybe some problem to be dealt with, or a little period of time that we're not feeling very well. That's normal. It's absolutely normal. We've got these bodies, and these bodies have to be cleared out and worked on and brought into balance. So that's what we're doing. So those days that we might have some heavy thinking and we can't get into meditation very well. But I would say to you from experience, still sit down, still light the candle, and still raise your Kundalini and sit there, because I know that still works something out. It still will help this balancing of the two right and left sides, bringing us into the center. And if we do that, if we're thinking very much today and we sit there, it will help us tomorrow to shift a little bit further. So those are the different states that I experience: a lot of thinking, or a meditation where we're hardly thinking at all. And the way I experienced it years ago, many people out there that maybe not trying to meditate they, as I said earlier, they will be going from thinking using the logical side of the brain so much, and then when they stop, they just drop. You know, they drop into tiredness, lethargy, sleep even. And that's like the pendulum swinging very widely. And what I experienced was, after a little time of meditation, the pendulum might still be swinging a little bit, but it's very much less. So it's around the center. It's a very nice place to have got to. So it's around the center. So we, you know, we can be thinking a little bit, but sometimes we try to recognize those thoughts and we can stop them. You can try a little bit by recognizing, watching the thoughts, watching them as if they're something outside of us. And sometimes also what happens is you can just nudge into thoughtlessness, and then you might think again, and then again into it. And you might just sort of bounce a little bit and then go into it. So I just wanted to touch on that, because people do struggle with meditation sometimes, and it's quite normal to have different days. But if you aim for thoughtlessness, as Shri Mataji said, you know, if we can get into thoughtlessness or try to get there every day, and even when we're doing things outside, sometimes you can just watch something without thinking. So, you know, it's the best. We've really got a great benefit with this Sahaja knowledge, because not many people know about thoughtless awareness. So I'm going to talk after Shri Mataji's talk about the lethargy in the left side. But I wasn't going to do any candle work tonight, but if you go to week 9, which is my first presentation I did of the 21-day program, that's where I taught people how to do the candle work. So you bring the candle up the left side, cross, round, cross and down again, like this. I haven't lit it, but this. So up the left side, round as far as you dare go without it spilling, down and down the left side. And this brings light to the left side. So our left sides tend to be a little bit dark and hold on to that sleepiness. So if you use a candle there, so it's like everything else. If you do it when you need it, if you're feeling lethargic and you need it, then use the candle. If you're feeling quite active, dynamic, busy, you've got plenty to do, then you may not need the candle. Now, there's an action I want to show you. We have done this before. I think Sarah showed it to us one evening, which is very good to do in your foot soak, while you're foot soaking. So you cross over the hands at the Sahaja chakra level, because this right hand deals with this side, the left hand deals with this side. You cross over at this level and bring both channels down. Make sure you're coming down the channels, not that you're just waving your arms around anywhere. You're bringing the channels down, and you put the energy into the foot soak. Again, so you can do it with me. Cross over at this level. Cross the hands at Agya, because this is where the two sides cross, right and left side. Bring it down, right and left channel. I know you might not be foot soaking now, but when you foot soaking later or tomorrow, you can do it. Again. Now, I wouldn't do this too much. And everything we show you, all of these actions and these techniques we show you, what I want you to do is try them and then test how you feel. Open your hands as you're sitting there and see what you feel. You know, you might feel an imbalance in the right and left. So you know now, you're starting to know that you might get heat in one hand, more heat or more cool in the other hand. So test it. You can do it a few more times. And what it does is clears the right and left a little bit with the hands where the vibrations are flowing like this. And then we put those energies, particularly good after a day's work. It's particularly good when you come in from work, later when you're foot soaking, to do that, maybe before bed. What I also like people to do is, when you've done that, always raise up, we show you this quite often, you cup your hand as if you've got some very pure water in there. Bring it up the center channel. Just drop those droplets onto the Sahasrara chakra. And because we've brought down the channels, we like to raise the Kundalini up the center. So just, if you think of it like that, you're just holding some very pure water. Bring it at the center channel. Actually, it's vibrations. And just drop it very gently onto the Sahasrara chakra. Touch it with the fingertips. And it just brings us more into the center. Just hold your hands out now and see how you feel. I am actually getting quite cool in both hands, and that's because we're meditating together, because we're doing the techniques together. And when we're on our own, sometimes it's not quite so easy. And I have a bit of a theory, it's a personal theory, okay? I think most Sahaja Yogis would agree with it, is there are two methods, there are two things that can work everything out. Apart from listening to Shri Mataji's talks and lectures, which she has all the knowledge, apart from opening the heart and loving and caring for other people, the two things that can work out almost everything is collective vibrations, which means being with other Sahaja Yogis who meditate. There's nothing like the support we get from being with other people whose Kundalinis are awakened. And I'll tell you a little story about that in a moment. And the second thing is thoughtless awareness. So those are the two things I wanted to remind you of tonight, and the two things to aim for. Now, I know that being with other people who meditate is a bit difficult for some people. Some people are a bit isolated. Other people aren't yet maybe ready to be in groups of people. But I do urge you to try, because half the battle of your life and your clearing, your working out, will be taken away, and you'll be upheld by those other people's Kundalinis. There's no two ways about it. I've experienced it thousands of times. And the little story I was going to tell you is that after a little while, I don't know if this has happened to you yet, but after a little while, if someone who is meditating with their Kundalini awakened is coming down the street or around the corner, or is in a cafe, or is somewhere and you don't know they're there yet, sometimes the Kundalini just shoots up to let you know that that person is around. I was waiting with a friend once in London, and we were waiting on a street corner, I think, waiting for some other yogis to come to pick us up. And this young chap just said to me, they must be coming now because my Kundalini is just shot up. And that's what we experience a lot. And they came round the corner the next minute. So that's why I want to impress upon you about the collective vibrations. That's what you get, that support. So if you have a place you can go to meditate with other Sahaja Yogis, then please try it. There's nothing like it. So very often during our life, our daily life, the Kundalini will suddenly come up, and you just think, right, there's someone somewhere who's realized, who has their Kundalini awakened. So also sometimes it can come up with vibrations from something like art, who the person who did the art is also realized, things like that, or some music. Usually those kind of things, though, you just feel the vibrations inside your body, and you can feel a shower of these vibrations come up and sort of shower through the head and then fall like grace down through the body. So I'm hoping that you'll feel that if you haven't done already. So we're going to have a meditation together now. We'll just do a few affirmations, and then we'll have some silence. Let's see if we can achieve that thoughtlessness, because we're together, it'll be easier, stronger vibrations. Now, you know, most of you here tonight, you know that when we say mother, we mean our Kundalini, we're asking our own Kundalini. So, you know, we don't have to say mother Kundalini, we can just say mother. So a very nice, deep mantra to say is, Mother, please come into my heart. Before we start to meditate, Mother, please come into my heart. Open my heart. And let others see you, that you're in my heart. Let others see a realized soul. Let others see that I have Kundalini awakening in my heart. And they will start to benefit. Mother, please come into my head. You can say it 3 times each if you like, or just once, however you feel. Mother, please come into my head. Have the hands open on the lap. Let's just see if we're feeling the vibrations. Now, if it's easier for you, just have your eyes closed now, but just touch the Sahasrara, the top of the head, with the fingers very gently, if that helps you to be in meditation. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about thoughtless awareness is I find that I have to sit there a bit longer to reach it. Now, I know that in the mornings that's not always possible, because you just want a quick meditation and then you're going to work. So try in the evenings, because the thinking will stop and the thoughtlessness will come, but you have to give it more time. So we'll sit together, we'll raise our attention. At Sahasrara, and above is where we meet with our higher selves. Our divine self is up there in the silence. Mother, please bring me into complete balance. Just notice what you feel in your hands and your fingertips. Make a mental note. And if you feel any vibrations at the top of the head, please don't worry at all if you don't feel it. It will come with practice and giving time to the silence. It will come. One day you will just feel it. Can we have Shri Mataji's talk now, please, Ascent?
But it's not only that in the East you find all this condition, in the West it's even worse. For example, they have clubbing. Now there are clubs where people wear particular type of clothes. It's a club. Now if they wear something else, then everybody will laugh at it. Or how to use the spoon and fork is very important in the West. How they use spoon and fork, especially English, have this nonsensical conditioning. If somebody uses the fork and spoon in a wrong way, then finished. He is nowhere. He is not sophisticated. The ideas of sophistication and all that comes through conditioning of ages. Because maybe they were primitive to begin with, they had no clothes, proper clothes to wear. Might be they were covering themselves with some leaves or something. I mean, only hundreds of years back. So now they have jumped to the other side, very particular about their dress, very particular about fork and spoon. And they just can't bear something that is different. I don't like that is very common there. I don't like. I don't like. No. They came to India. We don't like. What we don't like? We don't like the way Indians dress up. All right? You dress up the way you like. Let Indians dress up like they like. Now why do you think that your dress in England will suit here in India, which is such a hot country? But no, this is how we are. It's quite funny the way they have. And this conditioning goes on into such a deep manner that nobody sees the stupidity behind. For example, if the Queen has invited you, you must wear a tailcoat. And now it's very expensive to have a tailcoat. Now, they have to go to a particular shop to borrow it. Sometimes they are loose and sometimes they are tight. I have seen people coming to these parties, Queen's parties. I could never recognize them because somebody looked like Charlie Chaplin, or somebody looked like Laurel, or somebody like Hardy. I couldn't make out who are these people. Then I was told that's such and such ambassador. Oh my God, I know him very well. What has happened to him? They cannot walk straight. Their gait changes because of the clothes which are so tight sometimes and sometimes so loose. But you have to wear. All these formal ideas come to us as a kind of a part and parcel of you because you accept all these conditionings. So the other side, it goes to that we abandon all this. We don't want all this. We are anti-culture. So I met one gentleman who was wearing a pant which had lots of holes in it. Imagine in the cold of London to wear a pant like that. So I said, why do you want to wear a pant which has holes? He said, this is a holy pant. Holy? My goodness, It will give you varicose veins. It's horrible. What's wrong? We are anti-culture people, so we are taking now to holy pants. I mean, such stupid people are not only who are uneducated, but very well educated people, highly placed people are so conditioned. And this conditioning has caused so much damage to human beings. Spirit cannot be conditioned by anything. Whatever is good, that will be accepted, good, congenial to the spirit. It's a different attitude of a person who is spiritual. Like we had people here, I know they are not very comfortable. Some of them are put into the stands here and there, but they are enjoying because they are enjoying the spiritual atmosphere. They don't care where they sleep, where they live, what they have. This is all because you have entered into the kingdom of God. But those who have not, so much worried, this is not good, I want this way, that way, all material happiness they seek, trouble everybody, criticize everybody, get angry with everybody. But actually, they haven't got spiritual joy. And they can never be really in joy unless and until they become fully spiritual. Now conditioning also should be seen. Am I a conditioned person? If my conditioning is there, then is it a good conditioning or a bad condition? At least you should have good conditioning. But even that, to an extreme if you go, you can create a problem for yourself and for others. Most of these rituals and things started as a good condition. Then it became like a trap, and they could not get out of it. It's a part and parcel of it, one has to accept. Then what should we do? We should not react. Just see the drama. And you'll be surprised. Without paying anything, without going to any theatre, every moment you can see the drama going on before, which is so enjoyable. Whether it is absurd, whether it is ridiculous, whether it is a sort of a, as you see in the films, you see beating somebody and all that. You just see it and you do not react.
So Shri Mataji was talking about the conditionings, which do tend to come from this left side, and they collect in this the back of the Agni chakra. They collect there, and over the years, over a lifetime, and the past collects there. So the things that we learned maybe from parents or from other people, we tend to hold on to those conditionings, and this can push down on the on the attention, which is how the lethargy feels. So this lethargy, again, it's like everything in life. It's like on a spectrum. So the very worst type of lethargy, if somebody just stays in bed all day and doesn't do anything, that's one of the worst kinds. Some people are like that, and they're in a very depressed state. So depression very low mood. And this heaviness of the head can be all to do with lethargy. Now, on Monday night, Nicholas showed us some techniques, actions that we use with our hands again. So let's do that together. And what I would advise is that when you do these, any of these actions, is just stop after a little while, hold your hands out. You do need a little time for this, don't you? We do tend to rush through things sometimes, but you need a little time to test yourself in between. Because some people, we can be lethargic or in the left side more just for a short period of time. So that's what I mean about being on a spectrum. Some people can actually be in lethargy for many, many years. They're just in this lethargic state. But other people can sort of come in and out of it depending on how hard you've been working. So if you remember on Monday night, if you were there, we use the right hand and we bring up we bring up the right, we bring up the right side, take it across and push down the left. So again, we're using these channels. We bring the energy up the right side with the hands, take it across the front agya and down the left side. And you do that, you can do that, like Nicholas said, you can do it 7 times, you can try it 21 times. But while we're still learning, let's do it together a few times now. I recommend that you do this, try it 7 times, and then test. You have to close your eyes a little bit and test on your hands. Has that balanced me out? Do I feel a little bit better? It's all very subtle, so we have to sort of just feel for it, really. And by doing these things weekly, you will get to know yourself much better. So you'll get to know your own system. I mean, tiredness is a normal thing. It's quite normal. So you come home from work after a day's work, you're going to feel tired, but you can rejuvenate that. You can actually get your energy back through Sahaja techniques. Now, if you are lethargic, if you feel lethargic, don't sit in the foot soak for too long, because that's obviously draining energy away. Just do 10 minutes. Still foot soak, but just do 10 minutes. So this raising up, we're raising the sun, which is the warmth and the heat from the right, and we're taking it across and giving it to the left. And that's what you can do if you're feeling this lethargic state. There's a lot to know about it, but it is an imbalance. And I mean, on a practical level, just keep doing things, but you know, we don't overdo things, rest in between. So if you feel that you know you're having quite a lazy time, just keep doing little jobs or little bits of things and then take a break in between, and you'll feel a lot better. You're kind of evening it out during the day or during the week. And it, you know, if you're very, very tired, then you just might need sleep. So the farthest state is sleep and unconsciousness. And then the other side of that is like very, very active. So obviously we want to stay in the center and be balanced. So we've gone over time a little bit. So we're going to have breakout rooms now. Astic will create those. If you want to ask anything or chat to a Sahaja Yogi about something, then you can be more personal and you can ask a personal question. Then join a breakout room and we'll see if we can help you. Just before we go, let's raise our Kundalini together. So we've finished our session. Raise up the energy and do this before you go to sleep at night. Even if you've done it before, after your meditation, I recommend that you do raise your Kundalini quite a lot. It's very good for us. It keeps the Kundalini alert and awakened. Put on the band down because you're protecting yourself before you go to sleep. 7 arcs. Doing it together is stronger as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope to see you soon, and let's go to the breakout rooms. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Sarah. Is it Sarah? No. Is it Sarah? Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.